Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2020 edition with our Israeli playthrough here. Now in the last episode, we went ahead and we got rid of all the terrorist groups that were still lingering in our country, and we were mostly dealing with more of the fallout from taking over countries as we have. We've learned we have a much better oil-rich territory here than down here, so I've dismantled our first oil well and I built a second one. A number of things was happening overall, and towards the end, I did say that we were going to attack Syria this episode. Well, I have realized that I think something has changed with cyber attacks in the 2020 edition than in the 2019 edition that I didn't realize. That, or I think I've just been highly overestimating the capability of Israel in their cyber attack capacity. Or maybe I just haven't played a small country since I've started using cyber attacks in this game. I don't know. But I have noticed that a lot of countries, especially ones that are larger than us, especially ones that are near our size, they have... I went checking multiple countries, by the way. Like, I was checking Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, etc., all these Middle Eastern countries, and found that their cyber attack defense is a lot better than my attack. And maybe that's because the AI now is actually better at defending against these things as a way for Eversim to combat the whole strategy of do a cyber attack and then invade, which has actually made my strategy, it needs to change. I'm not ready to do what I thought I was going to do. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to double my cyber analysts. We got to get this number up. The only thing I can find that has any effect anymore on my actual cyber attack rating in terms of a military cyber attack or a election cyber attack, one that's not aimed at the economy. Countries are very terrible with their defense against economic cyber attacks, is to just increase the number of cyber analysts. And while I thought I had a good amount, I was apparently wrong. So if we want to keep expanding, we need to do one of a couple things. I'm just going to go ahead and do this immediately because I already know what I'm going to do. We need to either give up the notion that we are ever going to cyber attack other countries that are any bigger than San Marino, which is this group of cities right here, or Monaco, or any of these tiny little countries, because they seem to have adapted. We either need to give up that notion or we need to somehow fix it. If we gave up that notion, we would need a very big, highly advanced military in order to take on really any of these countries around us. Syria may be actually a bit more than, say, Jordan. Jordan would probably be an easier country to fight. It would definitely be an easier country to fight. We are surrounded by countries that are bigger and better than us when it comes to military. So I have the choice now, probably of either boosting up my military spending and overhauling it and getting it ready and preparing for massive, probably infrastructural damage, or I can take that same money and I can put it into boosting up my Secret Service by getting thousands upon thousands of cyber analysts until we have a unstoppable cyber attack team. And that's the option I'm going to go with because that seems like it has less fatalities in it. That being said, this strategy won't be the most useful strategy in terms of actually taking over, more than just my neighbors, because eventually we're going to reach a country like Saudi Arabia where we are just not going to be able to get to this country's capital in the time of a cyber attack. Really doesn't matter what side of the country we start on. Maybe if we started in Qatar or Qatar, I'm not sure how you say that, we might reach it, but we're not going to take the country's capital before the cyber attack is up, even then. Eventually, we will run into this situation, and all the cyber attack power that we could ever accumulate in this game is not going to be enough. But for now, that's not the case. Egypt's capital's pretty close. I mean, okay, Egypt's capital would give me a problem, but Jordan's wouldn't, Syria's wouldn't. That's about it, but we're not up to that point yet. We don't need to worry about that. I don't have the money to overhaul my military. I don't have the money to deal with massive infrastructural casualties, but I do have the money to boost up my cyber analysts. So that's what we're going to do. I wish I could see the average. You know what? I might be able to. Oh, by the way, I was looking at nuclear warheads as the game went on. We are now number 6 for nuclear warheads with 121. We started with 80. I don't know if anyone we've taken over had any nukes, or if we've just been building them that quickly. But we're still building them. Alright, so if there is a map to check cyber analysts, I certainly don't know what it is. I can't find it. So there's no way to really compare your cyber analysts with another country's cyber analyst. So I'm just going to have to keep boosting it until I see that we have the power to pull off a cyber attack. And I know, let me go ahead and boost this up as well. I know some in the comments don't like the cyber attacks, but as a country this tiny, fighting a conventional war is just out. So here's the thing. Ever since, I think my second playthrough, or whenever I discovered using cyber attacks, I've actually gotten, occasionally, a couple of commenters that tell me that they think cyber attacks are scummy, that they think cyber attacks are cheesy, and that they really, really want to see a conventional war fought. Well, I fought plenty of conventional wars in my Brazil playthrough. In real life, we saw Armenia and Azerbaijan recently had a war. In this war, Azerbaijan bought things like drones and other non-conventional forms of weaponry from Turkey. Armenia, on the other hand, had a very outdated, older army. As a result, Azerbaijan absolutely destroyed Armenia, and Armenia sued for peace shortly after losing a city that is not actually shown on the map here. That is a real-life situation that happened within the past year. And that alone is enough to make me question why anyone would comment saying that fighting a not World War II conventional style war is somehow bad or cheesy or not fun to watch. I don't really understand it. Maybe everybody watching this right now could leave their thoughts in the comments for me. What do you think about that? Do you really, really hate it when I use a cyber attack? Do you hate seeing YouTubers use commandos? Do you hate seeing YouTubers use cyber attacks? As the game series progresses, would you actually want to watch someone refuse to use every new modern feature that's added just because it's not quote-unquote conventional and it's not as fun? Because I feel like that mentality is just a way of claiming that conventional stays one way and doesn't adapt. But that's the whole point of the word conventional, is the way wars are conventionally, usually, typically, as per normal, fought. Thus, finally get this started almost 8 minutes into the video, or maybe about 8 minutes. I don't see that we can survive as Israel fighting exclusively conventional wars. I think we're going to need to start branching out. So I will be boosting my cyber attack capabilities so that we can take Syria. We're not quite ready as I thought. We will need to start spending money. I am also going to double our amount of commandos. No, not to curb stomp the United States with a commando strike, so before anyone complains about that, do me a favor and leave me alone. What did we miss? Housing, a national priority, and electricity. Yeah, electricity. Electricity is something that I keep questioning. Now that I'm seeing these solar plants just scattered all over my country, I'm really not quite sure how I'm going to handle this in the future. Until we do get the ability to start playing on an equal field with the other powers around us during our expansion, I need to start looking for countries that I can maybe play on a more equal field with from a distance. Like Moldova. I've just tried to set up here a new Secret Service network in Moldova. Because they're small, their military is really tiny, like they have troops in the number of hundreds in this game at least. What is it? 487.4 troops active service. That's really weird. I didn't actually check to see if they had any alliances. Let me do that. So where's Moldova? Moldova. Let's go to all countries here. No, all, not Mexico. All countries. Okay, well, they actually have alliances with a lot of countries, so that's stupid. I shouldn't do that. Probably also shouldn't look at Belarus. I've mainly been looking at really, really tiny countries. Maybe I should have looked more down here where nobody would give a shit. Maybe some island nations, like these guys. Maybe that's where I should have looked. I don't think I can cancel setting that up. No, I can't. Well, when it is set up, that's when and where I'll cancel it. In the meantime, I am sending some scouting forces out here. Yeah, places like Monaco, places like San Marino, these really tiny countries of insignificant consequence, they really can't even provide a fight, whether I cyber attack them or not. it would take a larger country to provide a fight. What about, I know there's some small countries out here. I'm trying to avoid countries that like me, but strangely, a lot of these smaller countries really like me, which is kind of interesting. I know there's gotta be someone. I guess because Israel starts out as like a democratic country, it's harder to find countries that actually dislike them. I don't know, Guyana? They're a really tiny country. They have almost no population. Can you imagine me extending my reach over there? I mean, that would be kind of funny anyway. But in terms of small countries, and in terms of countries that are actually nearby, we don't have many options. Most of them are across the world. Trinidad and Tobago, for example. And the ones that don't like me are, well, actually, they're also across the world. Like, this is the first small country I found not to like me. Would be over here. Yeah, they're all over here in the fucking Caribbean. Like, this is who I'd have to attack if I wanted to attack in such a way that wouldn't cause a crazy amount of damage. Remember that political party leader that I exposed a scandal on? Well, yeah, he's in prison for 12 months now. That seems like a light sentence. I would have given him more. I've just kind of been looking through these smaller countries we might be able to get away with attacking and found a lot of them, even these bigger ones, like Jamaica, like Haiti. Look at it. It's not the smallest country. I mean, its economy sucks. I guess it's kind of small. It has a bigger landmass than a lot of other countries I was looking at. But they have almost no troops. Okay, so the Dominican Republic has 56,000. That's a bad example. But Haiti has 15 soldiers. 15. Haiti has 15 soldiers. I could send 100 soldiers over here by themselves, and there probably wouldn't be anything to stop me from doing that. I'm realizing. Except they might have some defenses, which, by the way, I check by using God and Spy. I mean, either way, if I didn't do it, it would just be a failed cyber attack. But this is a way I can actually see the numerical value. Yeah, look at that. Even Haiti has better cyber attack defenses than we have attack. But then again, we didn't set up an attack on Haiti, so I guess that makes more sense. What is this that keeps popping up here? Why are South Korean and Chinese forces hurting each other? It's very small. But they're having some kind of exchange over there, which would be really funny if it turned into something big. What is this? New arrival of the VIP. Alright, yeah, it's just the political party leader getting arrested. I don't know why that's such a big deal. Well, okay, I guess it is a big deal. I don't know why I guess I just didn't like him, so I was like, he's not important. I don't know why anyone gives a crap about him. Oh, well, this is interesting. China has taken over a South Korean port, an oil terminal. What the hell is happening? There's no war declaration that's happened, but I do hear fighting happening over here. Not that I can really see much of it. Oh, here we go. There's missiles being fired back and forth. They got some anti-missile batteries here. Chinese missiles are inbound. Where are they going? Are you attacking a military facility? Oh my god. Guys, this isn't just a freak accident. This isn't just a freak incident like what happened between Sweden and Russia. At least I don't think it is. South Korea and China are firing missiles at each other. Maybe it'll randomly stop, but for now, this has the capability of escalating, which is really interesting. But I mean, China invaded the whole of Afghanistan and only requested war reparations after for them. That's not much of an importance to me. And as you can see over here, I'm actually sending commandos somewhere. 1,000 commandos. All the commandos I had recruited up before this point. And now, you may be worried if you're someone that really hates modern warfare. Oh no! Are these 1,000 commandos on the way to take over the United States of America? Well, no, they're not. I could never do that with 1,000 commandos. Are you crazy? What this actually is a little strike force I'm sending to Monaco, hoping that it will be enough to actually take Monaco. They're moving very, very slowly. Very slowly. And they are moving over neutral territory, but they're stealth, so it should be fine. And I'm going to land in Monaco, which has 10 soldiers in it and 1 tank. If I send infantry in here, it would fall just as easily. It's on the coast, there's nothing here, just a cruiser. This wouldn't be able to do much against infantry once you land them anyway. And this little country has no allies whatsoever. It has under 40,000 citizens. Its GDP is so tiny that it's actually written in a full number. A full 100,000 million billion. I don't even know how to read this right now. Its deficit is non-existent. It actually has a budgetary surplus. It uses the euro, so it's probably in the EU. But as terms of military allies or those of the Mutual Defense Pact, it has none. So I'm thinking of taking it over. Despite its political party maybe getting along with the direction I'm going, like me or not, you're small, you're unimportant, and you give me the capability of having a beachhead in Europe. In case I ever want to join something in Europe or attack someone in Europe, I'm thinking of doing the same thing with San Marino, because they're another really tiny country that has 12 soldiers in one tank guarding their capital. So I'm really thinking of pursuing this course of action. There's really nobody else except maybe Liechtenstein, I don't know how to say it, if they don't have allies, but I believe they do. I'm not sure. But this is a target, and I decided to target it. Oh, speaking of Sweden and Russia, apparently their conflict isn't over yet, because the Battle of Visby is something that I saw going on while I was looking through the paper here. Chinese attack South Korean armed forces, executed retaliation operations. Huh? Alright. Russian warships entered territorial waters. Well, apparently this is getting going again. Apparently this stopped, but it's back. What the hell? Why is there a Russian... They must have taken it over. Because I was going to say, why is there a Russian offshore wind plant? It must just be something that they took over while fighting with Sweden. How are they even fighting without war being a result of this? I certainly can't fight without war becoming a part of this. Okay, Russia has taken over all these wind turbines on and offshore, and there must be Russian ships out here because there's missiles flying around. Russians are attacking Visby, but not seeming like they're going to take it over. So that did end, but I guess it's back on again, and the AI are doing their AI things that players can't do. We just discovered another space tech, so I'm just going to go ahead and not patent that. While I've been thinking about what to do as I've been letting time pass and just letting things get to where I need them to get to, I was looking around and I found myself back on the Head of State tab. I found myself looking at the Coronation thing again. And I've realized, this being my first ever 2020 playthrough, I'm kind of curious what it does. Even if it doesn't fit exactly what I was aiming to do with this playthrough's been such a mess of bugs and things that didn't end up working like they did before, and things that I just don't understand, that, I don't know. Maybe I can try it. We're having a plague. What better time to have a coronation? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure out what the hell the fallout for doing this is and what kind of effects it has. Hopefully nothing too deadly. What is this plague? It's a plague. It's in Israel. That's it? It's just in Israel? Okay, well, I don't know what city exactly it's in, but we'll deal with it. Oh, okay. Well, I just clicked off it, and immediately this pops up. Like, the next day, the spread of the epidemic seems to have stopped. Maximum extension, the disease should be stopped right now. Spread of the disease. I didn't even have to make quarantine. I didn't even have to make one. I mean, I'll go ahead and make it anyway, but leader of Paraguay wants to have a meeting with me. Probably just wants to buy or sell something, as they always do. No one ever comes to me about becoming friends or allies or anything like that. I don't know why no one wants to be my friend. Look at me, I bring friendship by helicopter, and it's almost there. Alright, well, looks like our commandos are arriving, so let's speed it up and allow them to get in there. And we've arrived with a meager invasion force. The Battle of Monaco, yes. What's this? Terrorist threat? There's always a terrorist threat for everything I do. People are becoming happier. Let's see. So the commandos are slowly working their way in. Yeah, they arrive pretty slowly now. Compared to 2019 edition, they arrive in small numbers, like 10 at a time. Oh, here we go. Here's a fight. Quick, get in there. Okay, there we go. Cool. So we can... Men started to move in. Yeah. Alright, let me make sure he doesn't do anything like try to take control of my units and send some weird offensive. Break down relations with Monaco, that's fine. Get in the bunker. Start taking the place. Alright, cool. So we're taking the place. He's got some tanks incoming with some bombardment orders. And he has some infantry coming, one of them with a grenade order. Yeah, as you can see though, the troops do arrive pretty slowly, one by one. And it may just because I sent so few of them. but it worked pretty much this way when I sent larger amounts too. Theoretically, you can get around this by sending smaller amounts or something. I'm not sure. And then just sending them in separate groups is what I mean to say. I don't know if that would change it. I'm not sure, but this definitely proves that you'd have a hard time using commandos by themselves for some kind of full-out offensive. Where are you going? Oh, they're trying to intercept the commando helicopters by the entrance. They're intercepting the... Oh, shit! Okay, so they went to intercept the commando helicopters by the entrance rather than actually trying to fight the commandos that had landed. As a result, they actually stopped whatever slowed down process the game had ordered them to take, and this is the result. The mass wave of commandos that we're used to seeing from the earlier editions of the game. Offensive strategy, no. Ultimatum, fuck you. Take people square, doesn't matter. Plague medication purchase. Alright, what is this? 284 infected. $6.49 for every individual. Let me pull out my calculator. So 284 times 649. That is $1,843.16. This is less than $2,000. So this is 100,000. This is 10,000. And then this would be the amount that would cover all of that. Yes. All right, cool. Go ahead. Well, that's interesting. So you could still get this to happen. Although here's the problem with that is look how injured they all are. Did that affect my commando numbers much? Oh yeah. Look at that. Look how many of my commandos died from that. Wow. Yeah, that really changes up the nature of using commandos. If that many can die just like that, maybe I can see these numbers. 696 commandos killed from that one grenade. Yeah, that definitely changes up the whole dynamic of using commandos like this. Like, you need to do a cyber attack and then
have just taken the country's capital.
Do this whole process, unless the AI followed some kind of different tactic. But yeah, let me go ahead and fix these numbers back up to 2,000. That's where it was originally headed. Well, that's a lot of money lost, but hey, I've learned something new about the game? Question mark? I don't even know. I don't even know what to think about it. But we have taken Monaco. Our commandos are just here. Something's leaving. A tank. A tank is leaving and trying to go somewhere. Bad What do you mean bad policy? I put in a quarantine. I bought medicine. My policy's fucking great. Oh my. Big hit for warmongering. Big hit. Unlimited strike protest. Who's doing it? Just popular? I'll appear on television. There, they'll like that. Popular strike. Your Majesty. Yo, dude just called me Your Majesty. Alright, they just declared war on me. Plague epidemic, 92 dead. That's really not that bad.
The decree takes effect.
So I'm apparently Your Majesty now. I'm appointed for life. I'm Alexander the First. Alexander First. I am king. I am king. Oh man, what other funny effects did this have? Appointed for life. Yeah. All right. Let me get rid of that. Monaco declares war on Israel. Holy shit! So much popping up at once. So there's no way to uncoronate yourself. It seems once you're in, you're in. And I don't think it had an effect on anything else. Actually, I think it just changed me to king, and that's it. It doesn't seem like it had any effect other than changing my type of government to monarchy. That being said, we do have our meeting with Paraguay here, and of course, trade agreement. You'd like to sell me some cereals, which I'm already importing quite a bit, but you want to sell me some now too. You got a pretty good price, 155.46. Let's see how low you're willing to do. Okay, you're not willing to negotiate at all. Can I give you a coffee? All right, well, thanks for coming. We got this unlimited strike, protest, yada yada. We're ready in Oman for a cyber attack, quote unquote ready as we can be. I'm going to... Oh, what is happening? Decisive and respected television appearance. Okay. God, so much is happening. Monaco declares war on Israel. I feel like I've read this 3 times. Battle of Monaco. City is surrounded by enemy troops. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, Monaco surrenders. Alright, so it doesn't matter. So we won. We lost a lot of troops doing it. Like, okay, not a lot, but we lost a lot of commandos doing it. Not nearly as much as I expected. Maybe that's an incorrect way to say it. What's probably more accurate to say is I didn't expect to lose so many. My people loved me, okay? I don't know how. I declared war on Monaco, even though they don't exist anymore. Well, I guess they kind of do. They surrendered. But we haven't gotten to the peace treaty yet. Bad thoughts. Shut up. Leave me alone. You're a bad thought. Let me go into culture, and let's up that spending there. Work on getting a little bit of the popularity back. You know what's so funny? Aside from this war, my popularity was up there, man. It was doing great. It was doing amazingly. I didn't have any problems with it. Maybe I should take away the ability to strike in general. Take away more of their rights. I've taken away most rights, but maybe I should add that. Take away right to strike. I have a little notepad where I keep track of this kind of stuff. Cyber attack on my army. It's probably going to fail. At least I certainly hope it will. A lot of things are happening at once. So this guy was shot at dawn. That was the leader. There was some sort of television thing. I don't know what it was. But we're going to integrate Monaco. There we go. We've integrated Monaco. Very tiny country. Should barely have any kind of effect. Monaco tried to cyber attack my army and failed. So you can see we lost about 700 civilian and military casualties during the war. It's all military. It's all just commandos. Cost 4.2 million, and that's it. And soon we'll see this just become another little region in our country. Well, I've now passed into January of 2024. It's now a new year, man. Time is going so fast in this playthrough compared to all the other ones I've done, just because there's not as much I can do all the time. To rule is to foresee. So apparently there's a space problem in elementary schools. I don't know if that's just because I unify with another country, so they're just repeating things that don't need to be repeated. We got a cash surplus still, which is good. We had good economic growth, yada yada. Still looking pretty good as things stand. I don't really know that we actually do have a shortage in anything, or if that's just elementary schools. Which one of these is elementary schools? The French way of naming schooling systems is really confusing. Because like in the events, they'll say, oh, high schools, elementary schools, college. And then you go here, you're like, oh, there's universities, there's higher education, which sounds like universities to me. There's secondary education, which to me sounds like where you go if you don't behave in school. And primary education, which would be what everybody does. But apparently that's not at all how it works. We have taken over Monaco. I've let all the stats kick in, settle in, yada yada. There's not a lot to worry about changing. Our population growth has gone down still a little bit. The immigration situation is about the same as it was, actually, surprisingly. It's like even a teeny tiny bit better. Like 200 less citizens leaving better, if that counts as better. In terms of energy, we've definitely picked up some more things we don't want from Monaco, like a biomass. We've gotten some more fossil energy from them that we're not going to want. I'm just going to go ahead here and I am curious. Oil platforms. Do you have any oil at all in this little sea region of yours? It doesn't appear that you do. No. Not even out here. I know that's not my region. I'm not retarded. So I'm curious. Offshore wind over here. What does it look like? Average. Average. Okay, so that's not anything I'm going to fuck around with. I'm just going to come back over here. I'm going to find where this first one's being set up, and I'm going to just place another one out here where it's still marked as good. Very good. Okay, well, not very good, but good. So this should still be designed to produce, yes, over 2 terawatt hours capacity, yada yada. I'm just going to end up relying on these. When I played Rulers of Nations, actually, this was the sole energy production facility that I ever built, because I used to only play the USA, and the US owns some stuff like out here, so you should just fill the oceans with offshore production, because it doesn't take up any space that needs to go into anything else. And as of now, they've added even more stuff you need ground for. So I'm not going to lie, I kind of regret setting up all these solar plants, but if I actually need the space, then I'll just start dismantling them. One interesting thing out of this war is that the UN didn't get involved. Monaco didn't even ask the UN for intervention because I guess there's already intervention against me, and nobody actually intervened against me. I did ask if I could join NATO based on my geographical location now falling into the same location as other NATO members, but turns out, I guess, that because my capital isn't here, it doesn't count. I was hoping by owning territory in Europe, basically connected to the North Atlantic, where, at least as much as Italy is, that I would be able to join. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I've taken Monaco, this useless little country province now that has barely anything, and it hasn't gained me much. It hasn't gained me much but a strategic location, I guess. No resources, really, barely any citizens, and certainly not the ability to join NATO. And that makes me sad, because that was my whole idea behind attacking this place to begin with. So I don't know what my plans are going forward now that I've learned that they've seemingly changed how cyber analysts or cyber attacks work, and I just can't keep up. For whatever reason, I'm down in another 2 agents. Why? Alright, well, I'll fix that. I'm also gonna boost cyber analysts up to fucking... Okay, let's not jump the gun. That's maybe too much spending. Let's do it up to 3,000. I gotta keep improving these things now. I just had all my plans, sidetracked in one episode. So, fuck, dude. Thanks for watching. Anyway, this is gonna be it for this episode. Let me know how you guys are enjoying the series up until this point in the comments below, or join my community server in the description below if you want to be more direct in speaking with me. But for now, I'll see you guys on the next one.